Good morning, gentlemen. This is Sir Yeetus, so welcome to episode 125 of Yeetus' Thoughts. I know it's early in the morning. I'm sure you guys are just waking up, getting ready for work, or getting ready for the day, drinking your coffee, eating your eggs and bacon, or just on your way to work or wherever destination you plan on going to. I still say that this will be a good live stream. If you can't participate, if you can't engage, as long as you listen, that's all that matters. Okay. And the topic that I want to talk about today is because there's this viral video going on with a married couple named Russell Wilson and Sierra. And Sierra has been getting very comfortable lately. Very comfortable in the sense of she is pretty much on her thottery lately. And we will definitely explain that very soon. But besides that, hopefully you guys are having a great morning so far. Rise and shine, Don't waste any time. Go out there and be productive. And I'm only gonna mention this once. Uh and I might mention it again like near the end. If you want to support your boy, there's links on top of the chat, PayPal or Cash App, Super Chat, Super Thanks, whatever donations you want to give. All of it is appreciative. But my main thing is you guys stay here and actively listen to what me and Gray have to say. Yeah. Gray's here. And we're about to dive deep into these type of situations. Because a lot of men, they tend to think that we're joking, or they truly don't understand when we say it's only a matter of time, especially in modern day relationships. It's only a matter of time. It doesn't matter how average you are, it doesn't matter how much status you got, it doesn't matter how rich you are. It's only a matter of time. And there's plenty of examples, whether it's in your personal life or out there in the Hollywood section. Plenty of examples of women waking up one day, they're like, "Oh, you know what? I'm not happy anymore. I'm gonna take half your shit, and you have to pay me alimony and child support. Are you gonna have to pay for the rest of your life, or until I get married, or my kids turn 20, 21?" There's plenty of examples out there, gentlemen, but there are a couple examples I do want to point out. Whether you're a sports fan or not, these are two key things that the manosphere has been explaining for a couple years now that a lot of people want to ignore, right? Because first off, they probably don't like sports. Two, they really don't think it's a big deal. It's a big deal. You'll be surprised how many model women look up to these type of couples. Don't worry, I'll definitely explain. But let me bring in the one, the only Gray. What's going on, Gray?
Evening Warband. It's the sleep deprivation stream.
Oh, definitely. No sleep whatsoever. But when it comes to this topic of it's only a matter of time when it comes to relationships or marriage, what's your summary before you get into details?
Hmm. Try, trying to think of a really concise way to sum it up, but essentially everything is destroyed by a bored woman.
Okay. I agree with that. How so?
I was thinking a bit kind of on the larger implications of this and what we've talked on previous streams. And a big part of like all these women's self-destructive behaviors when they're like destroying their families or destroying society, it's primarily because they have nothing else to do.
Pretty much being agents of chaos. Pretty much.
Yeah. Like, because women don't have hobbies. So when they have free time, well, they go on social media. They go out and they be social. And to get the largest amount of attention, you've got to play into human emotions. And humans react far more strongly to negative emotions than positive emotions. It's just how we're wired.
That is
So a woman gets more attention by causing something negative in other people. I mean,
that's
even
true.
if you think back to like how feminism like got its roots into the West, it was a bunch of the elites, the wealthy women who didn't have to work all day because they had servants and maids and babysitters and boarding schools and all that stuff. They had nothing better to do with their time. And nowadays, when the average woman lives a life more luxurious than even the wealthiest woman 100 years ago,
Yeah.
like the woman that works out in the fields all day and has to deal with 6 kids, she's got no time to destroy anything.
I agree. Way too busy, especially back in the day where the luxury wasn't as prevalent as it is now. Like it's night and day between the families that were in the 1900s and the families in 2020.
Yeah. And that's kind of the problem because men are wired very much in the opposite way. Like we do shit in order to create peace.
Yes.
And so when we bring a woman into our life, like we want to create a peaceful environment. And that's something that, well, men do need to learn as a foundational. Like on the very basics, no, men and women are not the same. We're not wired the same. We don't think the same. You, man, think that a peaceful, relaxing life is good. She doesn't, and she never will.
No, no, because like I've said before, women never really had a taste of adversity compared to men. So she pretty much goes out there and seek it, like you said.
No, that's the thing. Even it doesn't have to be that they've never had a taste of adversity. Even if they have a taste of adversity, even if they understand the bullshit, you give them luxury, you give them peace, they will still seek to destroy it.
True. I'm just comparing the contrast between men and women. So when it comes to men, we have to deal with bullshit 24/7, at least in my opinion. 24/7. Right? If it's not dealing with your own personal BS or vices, everybody else is looking at you depending on what family you're in or whatever it is. They're all looking at you to fix any problem. Like you're the handyman. You're the one that's supposed to make sure things are good. That's why a lot of men they much rather strive for how do I say cooperation and peace and order.
Yeah, but I'm looking more into the foundational reasons. Like men would not be the ones people turn to when there's problems unless men were creating solutions because solutions are peaceful. Solutions are boring. Like no one goes to a woman to actually get a problem solved because the woman does not want the solution. They do not want boredom. They
They
want
just
the
want the
constant flow. They want the drama. It feels good on a base level to them.
and
Like
constant
no woman,
validation.
like well, no woman, no matter what her history, no matter what her past, is ever going to crave peace in the long term.
No, I agree. And like I said before, I've dealt with plenty of women in my life. Plenty. Anytime that man is like, you know what, hey, you should do this and this and that to make sure your situation is good. No, I learned in the long run, they just want their feelings to be validated, right? It's only a venting session to them, and then they expect you to agree with how they feel with the BS they deal with that day, right? Even though it's intentional or not intentional, right? Because drama,
No, but that's the
drama.
thing. Do they necessarily want you? Because keep in mind, there's shit tests where you disagreeing may actually be more enjoyable than you agreeing because that's more conflict, that's more drama, that's going to get the neurons firing. Again, if you give a woman what she says she wants, that makes her upset.
But they do at the same time they don't. They're fucking weird. All right, it's like
Well,
literally at the same time.
here's the thing. If a woman has something that she bitches about you to, and you agree with her, the ride ends. The ride is over.
Yeah,
If she comes to you and bitches at something and you disagree with her, she then gets to go to someone else and bitch about you to them. It keeps the
yeah,
ride going.
yeah. Like I said before, drama is drama. I agree, but what I'm saying is they want it, but at the same time they don't want it. It all depends on how they're feeling at that moment. In the sense of she can feel one moment, I want you to validate me 1 second, and then the other second they just want you to macho up, man up, and put your foot down
Yeah.
on some
No,
crazy feet.
but that's where I differentiate. Like they'll say that they want you to validate them, but they don't. Because again, don't listen to their words, look at their actions. Who are the men that they want to associate with the most? The men that validate them or the men that don't validate them?
The ones that don't.
Therefore, validating them is not something she wants. That's just what she says she wants.
This is why I always tell men don't be emotional tampon to these women, right? Don't be that friend zone male orbiter dude. Just listen to her blah blah blah. This happened to me. This happened to me. Because she knows that she won't be able to do the same thing to Chad and Tyrone because they don't give a fuck. They know Chad and Tyrone don't give a fuck. That's why they
Yeah.
look for male orbiters like, you know, typically average men to listening to her vent and validate her feelings.
Yeah. This is where this is what the thing I want to make. It's not just for Chad and Tyrone. Because honest, a lot of the simps out there, they are either seeking female approval or they want the woman to be happy. But that's the thing. The simps have this idea in mind that if they, again, like golden rule is bullshit. Treat others the way you want to be treated. No, you treat people the way they want to be treated. If a woman comes to you saying that she wants you to agree with her or implying she wants you to agree with her, the best thing you can do for her that will make her happy is to disagree with her and piss her off.
That's why I say, gentlemen, once again, it took me some years to figure it out, right? That's why I got red pill pretty young, thank God. If you have a lady with you or a lady you just messing with, like it doesn't even have to be a dating scenario. You do what you want to do, and if she doesn't want to get with the program, she can leave, and she knows this. Like, hey, I'm gonna do this right now, or hey, I'm gonna go to this place to get some food, right? But you're gonna have to pay for your own food. So what? What's up? Like, what are you gonna do? And if you leave, you leave. Like, I ain't chasing after you. But for some reason, that makes them stay. You just not giving a fuck. It's an women are very interesting, very interesting.
Well, again, I honestly see it as a drug addiction. like the emotional highs and lows, they're basically doing different drugs. Right? If you give them too much of the same thing, they get bored. That's why they want the variety. But
Exactly, like the other typical OG advice from this space. You treat her like a celebrity, she'll treat you like a fan. Once you realize that she is just no better than you, right? She's human, like she ain't no fucking goddess, and she can be just as grimy as you are. I'm telling you, the dynamics will change instantly. Okay, and she will know. She will definitely notice, right? And I'm not saying, oh, treat her like a complete fucking like worse than dirt. No, just don't give a fuck. You know, like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You either rolling with what I gotta say, or you can just bounce.
yeah, okay, well here's the thing. Like
I'm
there's
not even giving her the choice, right? That's it's implied, right?
okay, but here's the thing. Like because it was like, well, don't treat them worse than dirt. That goes to too far an extreme because then it's like, well, don't treat them better than you, don't treat them worse than you.
Well,
Well,
I'm talking
you
to the
should
one or two people in the chat that might take it that way.
okay, well then I'm going to be very specific on this.
Okay.
You do have to treat them worse than you because if you treat them as equivalent to you, you'll give them too much credit. If you listen to say a piece of advice they give you, if you assume that they have put as much thought into it as you have or that as you would were you giving someone else advice, you are wrong. They have not.
Like I said before, as long as you don't treat them worse than fucking dirt, unless they deserve it, don't do that shit, right? That's just basic human, ethics or whatever. But yeah, at the same time, I agree with you, Gray. Like they don't even know what the fuck to wear in the morning, let alone making the big decisions.
Like that's the thing. Again, you really thinking of them as children is probably the best way to do it. Like you might not treat every single 6-year-old like a piece of trash, but you're not going to treat them as an equal.
No, no. Hell no. I agree. I definitely agree with what you're saying right now. There's no way in hell. No way. How are you going to you want this and that and this and that in a man when it comes to her expectations, but at the same time she wants to treat the relationship as a 50-50 relation. Like that makes no sense. You want everything within a man that's better than you, yet you expect to be equal to him. Like come on, girl.
And as Hermit points out, like some might even enjoy being treated like crap. Now that might not be the best for you, and maybe you're not the kind of person that is like can reasonably do that. But that's the thing; they do like it.
Or they're just what they believe they deserve to be treated as, like you said before.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Like, there's how they like to be treated, and then like I'm pretty sure that if you took like a unicorn, 18-year-old virgin, homeschooled, good relationship with parents, checks off all the fucking boxes, yada yada yada, and you treat them like dirt, well, yeah, they probably won't like it, and hopefully they dissociate from you. But your average college sophomore these days who's got a double, if not triple body count and has probably gone into some crazy shit, yeah, they have no self respect.
I
So even
I'm gonna oh what's up? What's up?
that's the thing. So it's like it's the difference between treating someone as a random child and treating someone as a 10-year-old that you knew intentionally shit on your carpet and spread it all around.
I agree with you saying. I definitely agree. You're definitely not wrong. But I'm going to read a couple of these comments. You know, the OGs. What's up, Jariah? Bro got Yeetus and Gray preaching during online college classes, listening while studying. Thank you, or thanks for the early morning show, guys. Hey, I'm down to do an early morning show once in a while. Okay, it's all good with me because majority of the audience they don't like the morning shows whatsoever. They just like, yeah, I'd much rather have it in the evening. Once I try to have it in the evening, 10 other people are having live streams. It's a very confusing situation. Williamson, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. I had to go to the other window to see what you sent me, but regardless, thank you for the donation. Okay, so we're gonna go into this thing right here, and once again, gentlemen, this type of relationship is a majority of women's dreams right now in society. If you're not able to look at it right now, go ahead and replay the video sometime later today to see what we are truly talking about. So when it comes to the relationship between Sierra and Russell Wilson, right? I'm sure you guys heard of. I'm pretty sure he's at the Seahawks or somewhere else, wherever it is. Russell Simmons, not Russell Simmons, Russell Wilson, professional football player, and Sierra, the ex uh, uh, hip hop slash R&B performer. Um, she got with the famous, pretty much the godfather of toxic masculinity, right? If it exists, Future. Future has like 10 different baby mamas. 10. I'm probably leaving out a few, right? And even though she knew Sierra, she knew that he had countless baby mamas. She still decided to still have a baby with Future. Still. Come on, gentlemen. Come on, gentlemen. How bad would you roast your fucking daughter or whatever if she did some stupid shit like that? Get pregnant by a dude that already is not struggling, but already taking care of 6, 7 other baby mamas. But after she was enlightened, right? After she was like, oh, oh, maybe getting with a bad guy was a bad idea. She hopped ship and she went straight towards Russell Wilson, which I believe he is a simp. Yeah, I know he makes more money than I'll probably make in like 30, 40, 100 lifetimes. Okay. Yeah, he gets that money, but it doesn't change the fact that he's a fucking simp. All right. And there's plenty of videos that Gray will pull up soon that'll prove my point. She claims that she's when she got with Russell Wilson, oh, she's holier than thou. She's a traditional wife. She's ready to actually create a long-term, strong family and all this nonsense. Look, even Gray's laughing. I sent him the videos. I sent him the videos.
I've seen the videos. Oh, jeez.
Like I said, it's only a matter of I think they were married for 4 years now, 3 years, around there. But it's only a matter of time before she pulls that big old bait and switch, right? Because the longer she's married, the way higher chance that she's able to take half your shit. And there's nothing that you can do about it. Nothing. But Gray, if you don't mind, can you pull up the video of Sierra with the orange apron looking thing? Here, I'll put it.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm just gonna send the audio through the mic as well.
Yes.
Turn.
Remember, gentlemen. Oh, here's some back feed.
Oh, sorry about that. It's Still working out the audio here, so I'll just play it right through, and then after the clip's done, I'll turn the audio off.
All right. Wife, yeah, she's doing this shit for social media. Greg, can you pull out clip 2 of her dancing on the table?
Let's see, would that be?
Oh, it was just like right there.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
All right. This is where things start to progress, right? This is a later date of her doing all this. Oh,
Yeah.
look at that synth. All right. I'm still hearing the echo, but one more. This is the most recent one.
Yeah, like there's going to be a bit of feedback from the browser whenever I turn it to send the audio through, because it's sending everything that would go through my headphones through, so it's going to send your voice as well.
Okay, but before we play, this is the most recent video. This happened a couple weeks ago or last week. Remember, she's married.
Yeah, June 5th. So assuming that posted on the same day, this is 9 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go.
All right, we're gonna cut the feed for now. Gentlemen, she has kids. She has a husband. She's married. She claims to be traditional. She claims to be the empowering wife that's willing to make her family strong. And then give it a few years, she pulls this shit. And you saw the simp Russell Wilson endorsing it. I'm sure you guys saw it. You saw him. It's astronomical right now, and I'm trying to tell gentlemen, it doesn't. It's only in 2022 with the current state of relationships. It's only a matter of time when she feels safe enough that she doesn't have to suffer the consequences of her thottery, of her Jezebel behavior. She will pull this shit. She doesn't care how her family thinks. She doesn't care how her kids think. She doesn't care how the public thinks. She just want to just twerk it out, let it all hang out, and just go fucking nuts, right? Because at the end of the day, it's all about how she feels. Great, be right back, but let me know how you think.
Okay, quite honestly, like those 3 videos actually gave me a new view on twerking, and that is a fat girl dance. Because as it is made very clear, especially with the Wendy's one, she's got some fat on her fucking thighs. Like the underside of her thighs were fucking like sloshing around like half-filled water balloons. That it's like that's the reason. Like they're not doing anything. It's just literally jiggling the ass. Because if you add any move beyond like freaking crouching and jiggling the ass, you can see how out of shape the rest of her is. Like,
All right,
damn,
just got back.
yeah. So no, like straight up twerking is twerking is a fat girl dance because she's already got like a bunch of fat sloshing around on her thighs, and the Wendy's video makes that abundantly clear. Like, that is not for women who are fucking fit or in shape or have a good like muscle to body fat ratio.
What else do you want from them? Well, if you're talking about, women like Sierra and another woman about to talk about soon, how about present yourself as a respectable, traditional wife with fucking dignity and not out there busting it wide open on the internet that your family and especially your kids will be bullied to the ends of the earth just because you want to feel sexy.
No, actually, let me get an image for comparison here because this actually gets me thinking. This actually got me thinking.
Are you calling Sierra fat?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh damn! Free Ross has a disagreement right there.
Dude, those cream cheese thighs. Yeah, she's fat.
Oh shit! But in all seriousness, though, in all seriousness, a lot of women are looking up to that type of relationship. Okay, a woman that was able to sleep with the one of the most, how do I say, one of the biggest bad boys out there and get his seed, and was able to get one of the biggest simps out there that has a lot of money and status, and have him raise the stepchild. That's literally the dream for many women out there. Go out there and sleep with the biggest, baddest bad boy and contract his seed, and then go over and get some rich, gullible, weak, no backbone simp to take care of it. Like it's not surprising, gentlemen, but I have to show you this evidence just so that you guys are able to understand that this is what happens in 2022 if you decide to put a ring on it. Right? Yeah, not all marriages, majority of them, I will say yes. Majority of marriages will end up this way. Because there's plenty of variables, but the biggest one is how she feels. If she feels that she won't suffer any consequences, like I said before, she's going to go all out like you saw Sierra in the video. And remember, it's not even some computer nerd. It's not even some oil rig dude, construction worker. This is a all-star Super Bowl champion NFL quarterback. And she's still doing this.
And I'm trying to find a proper like reference image for it, but simply put, she is acting more depraved than even the biggest harlot 90 years ago.
She wants that Future back. If you know who Future is, she wants him back. She wants him back. or at least get some of Future Sloan. She wants the bad boy back.
Well, like let's be honest. The only reason that she'd want him in particular is because of the strong emotional connection. Like that's really it. She wants the emotional ride that she's associated with Future.
Even though he has 8 different baby mamas, right?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that if there was I'm pretty sure that
She,
if there was an abusive rapper with 10 different baby mamas, like who knows? Maybe Nick Cannon is trying to get her by racking up baby mamas to get her
oh
attention.
yeah, people don't understand something about Nick Cannon. I need to explain this right now. When it comes to Nick Cannon, listen, I don't fault a man if he's able to afford and able to attend the children's lives. I don't fault him whatsoever. In fact, the point of that meme that I posted last night was because unless you are rich or Chad Tyrone, right? I put that in the description. No, the average man can only dream of doing something like that, right? Because the women that Nick Cannon was messing with, all of them were above average, especially in the United States. But that's the point of my meme yesterday. Okay, women, they always want to say, "Oh, you're supposed to stick with one man. How dare you cheat? How dare you do this and do that? Oh, adultery! How the audacity of you!" But once you start to acclaim some success and status, they won't mind being a harem. And the Nick Cannon situation is a perfect example. Future situation is a perfect example.
That's the thing. They're only going to use shame on you if they feel that shame is going to work on you.
Right. But once you reach a certain status, she knows it won't work. She knows there's always going to be options out there. There's nothing she can do about it. Right. And it's better to get a slice of the pie than to get replaced immediately, instantaneously by a possible younger, more attractive woman.
Right. Well, no, and that's a big part of why they go for the baby. Like, let's be honest. You have we have no idea. Okay, we know is all we know is that Nick Cannon fucked them, and they're pregnant. That's all that is confirmed.
Right.
You don't know that that's his kid.
That is true. And if I was Nick Cannon, I'd definitely take a test.
That's the thing. You're not going to be able to take the test until the kid pops out.
Yeah, I won't sign. Like, if I was Nick, I won't sign anything until I take that test. So,
but all these newspaper articles, these women are getting fucking fame and attention, and God knows whether or not they're getting decent money off of this. And that could be any dude's fucking sperm that made that baby. All they have to do is fuck Nick Cannon, and then for the next month afterwards, if he's not screwing them, just have a random hookup every night and take a cream pie until someone gets them fucking pregnant. And then they can just go and be like, it's Nick Cannon's baby.
like, nope, we won't take that test. Fuck that.
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe they'll get caught eventually. But keep in mind, then they just get to be like, well, okay, now I get my fucking money from the other baby daddy because it didn't work for Nick Cannon. And they still got all the fucking attention and accolades and God knows what opportunities, or even just the ride that they got while everyone thought that they were like Nick Cannon's baby mom. So quite frankly, they can't lose.
No, they have everything to gain for the most part. But I'm gonna address this right quick. Nick Cannon's a racist simp. Nick Cannon's for black supremacy. You're not wrong, but is the statements that I'm saying right now, are they wrong as well?
That's the thing. He's got the level of status that everyone wants a piece. Everyone wants his money and his fame. But at the very least, in a certain community, this is probably the highest they could reach, really.
Just because I disagree with his views, completely disagree with the black supremacy stuff. Oh, he's a black supremacist. Oh, he's racist against whites. Blah blah blah. Yeah, it can't all be true, right? Or it's definitely true, right? He definitely made songs and went after people based on their skin color. but that
And
does not disapprove of what I'm saying right now.
yeah, just because we don't hold him in high regard and wouldn't personally view him as high status does not mean that there aren't a significant number of people that do and that someone else could take advantage of.
Because look at how many women he's getting pregnant right now. Too easy, right? And once again,
Well, at least look at how many pregnant women claim it's his child.
that as well. But all of them are above average. Above. And there's no denying that.
Yeah.
Right. I know no beauty is beyond the eye of the beholder. No. They're fit, they're not ugly, right? They have a good amount of traction on them.
Okay, now let's be completely honest here. Average in the US is fucking fat.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So this
why.
isn't like, oh, he pulled from the 60th percentile. No, this is at the very least 75th percentile.
But I show pictures. I showed him. I'm like, don't tell me that you wouldn't hit that unless you really have specific preferences on why you wouldn't.
Yeah, no, like on a purely objective stance, they are entirely fuckable and desirable.
Right. So I'm definitely not going to hold let's just keep it because I hear it from the women's side and men's side as well, just trying to dog Nick Cannon on his choices. But I'm like, but can you do the same thing? Unless you deal with average or below average women, right? Because like what Corey Holcomb said, Corey Holcomb, he's a comedian. The way your woman looks reflects your income. He's a comedian.
Yeah, no, it's not wrong, and Nick Cannon's certainly got access, so no, he's definitely getting it, and that's a reflection of his wealth and status.
Exactly. And I try to tell men, you right now in your position in your life, can you do the same thing right now with the caliber of women that he's dealing with? That was the point of my meme. Okay. They make exceptions for guys like Nick Cannon to be part of a concubine, a harem, a fucking whatever it is, a bunch of wives. Right? Because they much rather get a slice of the pie of the big dog than to deal with, in their eyes, a mediocre man that doesn't even bring much in the first place.
Let's also be honest here. How many guys could honestly say that if they knocked for a woman up, that it would become an art newsworthy enough to be in magazines and on internet articles?
Pretty much none. Like 0.0001% of men. Yeah. Pretty much highly weird or athletes and stuff. Right? Because
and not just any athlete. You'd have to be the top percentage of athletes.
Well, currently LeBron James is getting accused for being a cheater by this post-wall desperate housewives woman.
Okay, but I'm talking about you compare the number of actual professional athletes. I don't know, there's at least a couple dozen per football team alone. And then you compare the amount that actually show up in regular news articles, and it's maybe 1 to 2 dozen tops. So even amongst the professional footballers, maybe 10% of them are actually considered newsworthy.
Well, I agree. And a lot of them only becomes newsworthy if the gold digger or the female clout chaser decides to put it all out on the internet saying, oh yeah, he's married, but I'm fucking him, or yeah, I'm pregnant and it's his baby. Just like I forgot what her name was. Was it Brittany Renner? I think it was Brittany Renner that fucked with that one guy, but basketball player, got pregnant. Like a month later, they got divorced, and he has to pay child support. The hero guy, major drama with his girlfriend. LeBron James with his current allegations right now of him being a cheater 20 years ago. 20 years ago. Like now you want to say something? You desperate home wrecker. Like you motherfucker. Now
Okay,
that
and
it's
here would be my thing is like, was there a ring on your finger at the time? Because it ain't infidelity unless you got that fucking ring on your finger.
yeah, he was recently announced as a billionaire.
Oh yeah,
Now you want
that'd
to
be
bring it
why.
up?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, PJ Washington with Brittany Renner and Tyler Hero with his little girlfriend shenanigans. Yeah, it's crazy, gentlemen. That's why we say all the time when it comes to women's perspective on how they see men, they only base their judgment, their opinions on the top 1% of men, and then they will project it towards the rest of us, right?
You know, I think we could maybe even
Take it a step
expand.
further.
Yeah, take it a step further because I think the definition is actually a bit broader.
Also,
Women only see men that make them feel something.
before you continue, I did get a donation. I'm gonna have to shout you out before I forget. Um, I will say C. I don't want to say your real name. Great to see you stream so early. Have a great day, Bruda. And I pray you don't deal with any woman's shit today. Peace, man. Hey, it's probably going to happen today. Not gonna lie. Possibly from family member shenanigans, because I'm gonna have to help them out when it comes to various chores, because the family needs help with renovations, right? So while all the male family members are doing all the hard work, all the female family members are just gonna be chilling, watching us. Yeah,
Yeah,
equality, right?
yeah. Like, let's be completely honest. I think men are far more productive when a woman isn't watching them.
I agree, because the dynamics change when a woman gets involved.
Yeah. But no, that's the thing. Like, I don't think that women just see the top 10% of men. I think they only see or remember the men that made them feel something. Because they might acknowledge a man who's like mid to bottom tier, but he had to make her feel something in order to actually be remembered. A man who has just a casual interaction with her that has no emotional weight for her, she's not going to remember him at all.
So, are you saying feeling in a negative way? Because remembering the bad times per se is a lot easier to remember.
Negative memories will always stand out more than positive ones, so yeah. If a
Mhm.
man makes a woman feel like shit, he's going to stick out in her memory.
Of course. Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, chaz it up. Pretty much, just doing nothing. And once again, I'm pretty sure it was you that sent me the donation. Thank you very much, man. Definitely appreciate it. This conversation is far from over, and I think you have a disagreement. Whatever. No, I disagree. Men are more productive when a woman and family is leeching on them. It depends.
Okay. No. Here's I see where he's coming from. I understand the sentiment that there's two things because unproductive men, like low income, they tend not to get families or women leeching on them in the first place because women don't leech on men that have nothing to offer. But I understand that men will push themselves more when a woman is making increased demands. But this wasn't regards to that. This is more so the micro, is a man more or less productive when being directly observed by a woman? I propose that a man is more productive when a woman is not observing him.
I agree. I definitely agree. And on top of that, dealing with women that are very unappreciative of your work is beyond demoralizing. And it will definitely have less work being done. That happens in marriage all the time or relationships. If he's busting his butt and not once he gets any type of acknowledgement or gratitude of what he's doing, which is usually pretty hard manual labor, he doesn't see the point of doing it at that point. Like what Dave Chappelle says, if a man is able to have sex with a woman without getting a house, he wouldn't buy one. So
And we know that's true because there's plenty that don't have a house.
exactly. So if a man is like, you know what, if I'm not getting any type of appreciation, no nothing from this woman, and I'm here busting my butt day in and day out, the productivity will go down. That's called being demoralized.
And that of course goes back to men misunderstanding how women operate, because the man thinks, hey, if I work hard and I get her a bunch of shit and I get her this stuff and she goes, oh squee, I love you, and gives you the hug, that it made her happy. You'd think that would, but in actuality you've made her comfortable and now she doesn't have any drama.
Right. And that's when the nagging begins, the beginning. It's
Like,
nag, 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 fucking nag.
yeah, because honestly, I think that might be I think if there was one singular red pill to drill into the mind of every like husband, simp, guy looking for a relationship for the first time, whatever, the one sentence would be, women don't want to be happy.
That would be a good live stream topic, actually. But elaborate, Gray.
Yeah. But that's the thing, because women do not respond well to things that make them happy. They might do it temporarily in the moment. They'll give the positive, happy reaction. But what makes them happy is you're giving them what they say they want. You're satisfying their needs. It might be a moment of excitement, a moment of enjoyment, but the bitterness and resentment, like think about it, like girls, like they will gladly exploit a fucking simp to fucking pay for all their shit, take them out to dinner, and give him absolutely nothing in return. Just be like,
Yeah.
oh, this is my best friend who took me out and spent like 4 fucking figures on me this weekend. Still single, by the way. Hit me up, boys. Like this.
I wouldn't say Gray's onto something. No, this is something that's been preached for a while now, especially on my channel. Not once I heard a woman in my life say that she's content or happy with what she has. Not once. Prove me wrong. Well, go think back into your past and tell me if you know a woman that actually says, I am content or I am happy with what I have. I have not once heard of that.
Like they
You
can
know,
experience momentary happiness.
yeah.
But think about how long a woman remembers something that made her happy versus how long she remembers something that pissed her off.
Bingo. That's why they always say they're happy about getting something.
And that's a choice. You get to think back on things that you liked versus things that you don't like. Men, we by and large don't like to remember things that pissed us off.
I agree.
Women do. That is observable behavior, key difference between the male and the female. So it's simply women don't want to be happy. They'll take it, but it is so temporary and transient that the effort you expend to make her happy is never worth it. You'd be
Yep.
far better ahead to just piss her off.
You'll give her the world that she requested today, and then tomorrow she'll be bitching and moaning of why she doesn't have the stars.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know, favorite phrase I heard. I don't remember who the source was, but give a woman heaven and she'll complain about the view. Give a woman hell and she'll offer to pay the rent.
And I know people are asking in the chat, like, why am I talking about this currently right now? It definitely correlates to the topic. And
Because this is what happens when a woman gets married. And this is why it always falls apart, because a man who is in control of his life is going to eventually gravitate towards peace.
yes, that's all we long for.
Right. Like, no matter how a fucking crazed and wild youth he is, eventually he's going to get old and he's going to want to slow down. He's not going to be out binge drinking every single night. He's not going to be shooting up the streets or selling dope well into his 50s in a wild and crazy lifestyle.
He
He's
wants to,
eventually going to want to be like, you know what? I'd just like to have a quiet night in tonight.
and we talked about this in the Warband for the longest time. We talked about this for a long fucking time. But of course, you know, women they love to just skim past that shit, right? Men, we just want to have peace, right? Especially when we get to older age, like what Gray said, we want to enjoy the fruits of our labor that we bust our ass for decades. That's it. That's it. Like fuck. But of
Like,
course,
I can think of, I actually think back to an anecdote though, and the only time I can think of when a man would purposefully choose chaos is when he feels he's losing his identity. I think that there was one man, like, he worked real hard and hustled. I forget whether he was like the artistic type, like a writer of some kind or some kind of entrepreneur, but he worked himself up like through a lot of creativity, ingenuity, and hustling. And then he got to a point where he was like, okay, yeah, I'm doing quite well for myself. I'm comfortable. And that actually freaked him out a bit because he's like, I'm losing my creativity. I'm losing my drive. I can't live at the same pace I did. And so then he'd purposefully gamble all his money away and make so that he'd be broke again and desperate and hungry. And then he'd go back to that kind of lifestyle.
well, that's what
But
a lot of women don't understand when they say, "Why can't there just be work at home husbands too, huh? Why does it have to be just wives?" We are not comfortable in that environment whatsoever. Be a stay-at-home. What the fuck? No, that'd be the most boring shit that I would have to go through. I will lose my mind being a stay-at-home husband, knowing that I can be going out there doing something productive, not just for myself, but possibly for society as a whole. Right? We have that innate drive to produce and create.
well, heck, even beyond that, some examples I've seen IRL, like of guys that do stay home one day and don't have any responsibilities, they end up becoming hardcore gamers.
Don't get me started on that one.
Yeah. But like the examples I've seen have primarily been PvPers, but like that's they seek dominance in that kind of environment. But everybody's like, men always have a drive to go out and do that kind of shit. right? And the only time they'll choose chaos is because they don't want to lose their edge.
I agree, but before you continue, Alan Herman, thank you for the $2 donation. Greatly appreciated. Peace, quiet, and freedom. Like it's we have literally one of the lowest standards ever in history, in my opinion. Like our standards are not that high anymore, and they still can't get that shit right. It still boggles my mind to this day. It probably will be for the rest of my life. It's like, bro, we're not asking you for much whatsoever. Yet you still want to proclaim that you be treated like a slave because patriarchy. Like, I'm just asking for a glass of water.
Yeah.
Give me some water.
Yeah. No, but okay. Well, like to address that specifically, I think that when women do that, there's what they say and then there's what they mean. I think that when they say like what you treat me like a slave, I think what they really mean to say is if you want me to treat you well, you need to treat me like a slave. Stop treating me as an equal that you're asking for something like a favor. No, you got to demand shit from me and enforce it with violence for me to actually feel good enough about you to cooperate.
But Gray, that's the paradox. That's the paradox that many men deal with these days. We will love to put our foot down, but when that happens out of nowhere, we have a cop with the knee on our backs, ready
Precisely.
to eat us in jail.
As thing as soon as
Oh, what's up?
well, but this is where it gets kind of liberating though, because you don't need to actually do anything for her to accuse you of doing something and bring the cop into the picture.
That makes it much worse. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's like, would you rather go to prison for something you didn't do or something you did do?
Touche. I'll give you that one. But modern women then want to act shocked right now on why men are like fuck this shit. I'm not doing this shit anymore. Or I am looking at this other man's life or this other man's relationship, and he is an empty shell of himself, and he looks like he's going to kick the bucket at any time, and he's only in his mid-30s. I don't want to do it, and they want to act all confused. Oh, white men are leaving. White men are okay. So it's like hypothetically, literally kicking a fucking chihuahua across the yard and then expect that chihuahua to act all friendly when you go up to pet it.
Well, but again, and that's their projection in mind. Because like that's the thing, because that's how you could treat them. You could kick them across the fucking yard and they'd be more likely to come back to you.
But they know they hold all the power right now. So that's why they're not.
There's what they know, and then there's what they feel.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, at any time, right? You can make her feel as much as you want to, left to right, up and down, but all it takes is that 1 second. That 1 second, and it's game over for you.
Yeah.
So if the state and the police were all gone and weren't as involved in relationships like that, then I definitely say that your uh saying on the putting your foot down, it's 1,000,000% correct. All right. I'm not saying that you're not correct, but it's not applicable, if I can say the name right today. It's not you can't really apply that to today's relationship when it comes to truly putting your foot down, right? Without being at risk of you just getting steamed over by Big Daddy government.
But That's the thing. It's getting to the point, if it's not already at the point, where it doesn't matter. Because again, you don't have to do anything to her for her to call daddy government on you.
It's all about if the man is willing to take that risk then. If he has a good career, a good this, a good that. Because once again, majority of us are not Chad Tyrone. Majority of us
But
won't
that's
have
the
that
the
attention.
risk is present from the instant a woman knows your face and name.
We have a question right quick. Repeat yourself, Gray, one more time.
The risk is present the minute a woman knows your face and name.
Oh yeah, of course. And at that same time, it all depends on if she deems you as attractive or not. That's a big factor as well.
Have it keep in mind, again, attraction for her is entirely emotional. We are men, we are visual, we determine attractiveness objectively. A woman determines attractiveness emotionally.
It's all if she wants to yeet you in prison or try to get you shot up by the cops, mainly because of how attractive you are to
But
her.
here's the thing.
I know there's a difference.
Who do you
Most
think a woman is going to yeet to prison first? A man who is unattractive physically to her, or a man who is boring?
I would say a man who's physically unattracted to her.
I would say a man who's boring.
We will get to that in a bit. I will have to read this question right quick because, you know, we got these questions right quick. All right, the question I always ask whenever my trad folks ask about marriage is why should I get married in an environment where I will probably be destroyed and then get driven to be a shell of myself at 30. No thanks, lol. Um, they don't want to answer that. They just want to give you the same old lies so you can produce them grandbabies, right? And it's not because they want you to have kids. No, it's for their own selfish needs, right? Oh, I'm at this age. I want grandbabies. I don't care what girl you give your seed to. I want grandkids, and they can't comprehend, or they just don't give a damn about the consequences you may potentially face. So that's why I'd put the line in the sand and say, no, I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Now, you see, honestly, I think that's the wrong way to go about it.
How so?
Because you're putting them on the spot to answer a question that they don't want. What you want to do is to get them to say no, and that's by saying, okay, you pay for the dates, you pay for the wedding, you pay for her needs, you pay for the kids, you cover alimony and child support. I'm going to work and pay for myself, and she can live in the same house as me, but you cover every single one of her expenses and the kids' expenses.
I see what you're talking about, Gray. That's not a bad idea at all. But, you know, the most simpler questions you can give them is, do you truly understand the dating market today, the relationships in 2022?
That's the thing. I'm beyond caring whether or not they understand. I just accept they don't. They don't get it. They don't want to get it. So I put it into terms that they can understand. Money. They can pay. As soon as they have to look at the financial risk, then it will snap home to them.
Well, that's what I was pretty much saying in the first place, right?
No, but that's the thing.
I have to do consequences.
No, but that's the thing. When you phrase it in a way like, why should I have to do it? Their emotion is all like, well, it's your problem. You should do it to make me feel good. When you put the financial burden on them, then it's going to hit home and you're actually going to shut them the fuck up.
And once again, I'm not saying you're wrong, but at the same time, they're grown. They're big boy, big girls. They can't understand what the fuck I'm talking about, right? And if they can't comprehend with the fact that, hey, yeah, you can have this little crazy time, with the babysitting, with the grandkids and stuff, while I'm getting yeeted back and forth between the divorce and family courts, then, in my opinion, You become my enemy.
No, but I just think that's too much. I think it's like just quite simple.
I
Like,
wouldn't
look,
say it's too much.
I know you make a deal. You're making a deal with them. It's like, no, I think it's too much for them because most parents I meet these days are fucking children that have no concept of the world outside of their own experiences.
I agree.
So you need to drag it away from them rather than them being able to get the rose tinted glasses for their own past. You drag it into their present by just handing them the bill. And steals. And you make a deal like, look, I will go out, I will find the woman. You can choose the woman if you want her. I'll go find one. And I'll knock her up and I'll give you the grandkids, but you're paying for everything.
I see what you're saying. Or I can just send them hip hop videos. What's that? That WAP
because
song.
that then they can make the excuses. Then they can make the you just need to pick the right one. No, you hand them the fucking bill.
Tell them shut the fuck
because
up.
then they'll because here's the important thing. You hand them the bill and say, I will knock up a woman and give you the grandkids, but you cover every single expense, including the risk of divorce, then they will say no.
Hey, I'm writing this down right quick. Hold up. Because this is also a good topic to talk. I don't think nobody really talks about this actually. Hold up. Gray's right. I see too many who have kids and think that makes them mature. They don't grasp the idea of responsibility. See, in my opinion, it doesn't matter if they're responsible or not, right? If the parents can't comprehend the true consequences of a man taking that risk of giving a seed to a Western woman, right? Or a woman in general, whatever it is. And the potential fact that I have to deal with the burden for the next 18 to however many years because of alimony and shit, and I have to start over if she decides to divorce me at 35 or 40 years old, hell, even 50 years old. If they can't comprehend that, if they can't comprehend that that is the trend in 2022, then they're just going to have to wait. I'm not going to explain it any further. I'm like, hey, if you want grandkids, I'm going overseas. You're going to have to wait.
I can't even trust these people to do 3-digit math in their heads. You think I trust them to understand complex social dynamics?
Honestly, to an extent, okay, how do I explain it? Since they've been there and done that, I kind of hope with their age and wisdom, right? Right, because not all, but an okay amount of them should have some type of wisdom when it comes to relationships. They should be able to somewhat understand. But
yeah, they understand they understand their context. I mean, like, let me give an example. Like, you might be like you can understand a horse and buggy really fucking well. You can have driven a horse and buggy for decades and become a professional coachman. Doesn't mean you know shit about driving a car.
Gentlemen, it doesn't matter if Gray's solution is more ruthless. I don't give a fuck how ruthless it is. I really don't. I don't give a fuck how ruthless it is. Okay, it's just in the end. Once again, right? They've been around longer than I have, right? And the family divorce courts has been around for decades, so they should have the common sense to know what's actually going on in there. And if they don't, they're just going to have to wait. I'm not going to waste my breath trying to explain to them over and over. I would say, hey, if you want to have grandkids, right? If you want to have any at all, because it's my choice, not you, me, then you're just going to have to wait until I go overseas. And that's like what, 15, 20 years from now? Because at this point, they like, oh, you should meet this girl right here. Oh, there's a girl right here at my work. Hey, maybe you should talk to her, blah, blah, blah. And then it turns out that they are no different than the 3 or 4s that we talk about. Hell, even worse, right? Because a few of them, oh, they're military. Oh, they're Liberians. Oh, they're this, they're that. Like, no. whatsoever. At this point, I don't see any point in having kids right now. And I don't care about the World War III or inflation. I had that feelings years prior. There is no point in having kids with a Western woman, right? Because what do we benefit from it? What do we benefit? I understand, like, oh, I worked it out with your mother. Like, me and your mother, we're great. Me and your mother, we're having a great time. Blah blah blah. Did you guys have Facebook? No. Did you guys have MySpace? No. Did you guys have AOL Messenger? No. Did you guys have Snapchat? No. Twitter? No. Plenty Fish? No. Meet Me? No. So how the fuck are you gonna try to give me any type of advice about something that you can't even comprehend? I'm telling you what's happening right now, and yet you're just pushing it off on some old head. Oh, you just don't know how to talk to bitches.
Yeah,
Oh, you
but
just don't know how to do this.
that's the exact problem, because that generation, I run into this with even old Gen Xers. Like they fucking like they get a bunch of money, they're settled, they're established, and they think that they're fucking top level financial advisors.
Like you're a fucking mailman. A mailman. like you act like you're fucking Andrew Tate up in this bitch.
Yeah. And for many of them, it's not that they know how to handle money. They pay someone else to handle their fucking money.
Right.
And when you actually try to confront them on the details, they become obstinate and evasive, or they'll just shut you down. So like that's the level of fucking understanding of the modern situation and empathy that I expect from like people old enough to be my parents or older. Like I don't expect them to have any idea what the modern world is like.
They don't. I'm like, do you have day naps and stuff? No, because you've been married for over 20, 30 years. So how the fuck you gonna tell me how to deal with this shit?
Yeah. So
You can't.
that's the thing. They're not going to, but they'll get evasive and they'll dodge around. That's why with mine, like I give something tangible, money, their money, because that's the thing is like, oh, I think this girl would be great for you. Do you think this girl would be great enough for you to put $500,000 on her? You're gonna bet $500,000 that she's gonna be with me for life? Well, I don't know if she's that good. I have to get to know her a bit better. Yeah, see, it's not quite so easy once you actually have to take responsibility for this bullshit. Don't shove that shit on me.
Yeah, great. Once again, I agree with you, especially with your method. But I'm way more to the point and just say, you know what? I'm gonna politely tell you to fuck off. Like, cause clearly you don't understand, you ain't trying to understand, or you just don't give a fuck. But regardless, it's on me to continue your legacy. So yeah, I'm out of here.
And I'd just be
I'm
like,
all-
look, you want grandkids? I'll like you pick a woman, I'll fucking jerk off into a cup if need be. Like you're like so long as you're paying for every step of the way, I don't give a fuck.
come back with like 30, 40 kids. Like, what the fuck?
I'd be like, dude, fucking 40 kids come out of me, then like all these fucking trad cons that talk about like population replacement shit, they can't say shit. Like, I got 40 fucking kids, bitches. You can't say shit to me.
No, because I guarantee you in the sperm banks, they still have some type of criteria or probably some type of checklist for a woman to get the best possible genes, even in a sperm bank.
Oh yeah, no, like you sort by like fucking like facial profiles and height and professions and shit. They absolutely do that. And then of course those women track these guys down and go at them for fucking child support, which is why sperm banks don't really have that much sperm anymore.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. You literally chose to have that kid. That was your choice. I had no choice in that. You chose to do that, but I have to pay child support. Okay.
Yeah, well, you know how the government is. The government's
Yeah,
like, we
yeah,
need a man to be paying for this woman and this child so that they're not a drain on the tax system.
That
We
is
know
true. But
we know the score. I,
gentlemen, we will continue the topic in a bit. What would you say, Gray, before we continue?
nah, it's like quite simple. Just goes back to the whole like women will want everything they can get. The limit is what the government allows them to have.
Oh, there's no way to put it any more simpler. Yeah, you're definitely correct. But before we continue with the current topic of it's only a matter of time, right? Because anything that we're talking about right now will literally correlate with that type of situation. Like I'm telling you, we got somewhat sidetracked, but it doesn't detract from what we were talking about. Um, if you want to support your boy, there's two links on top of the chat: Cash App or PayPal.me/Yeetus. There's super chats, there's super thanks. Any donations is definitely appreciated. I just want you guys to stay here and listen to what we have to say, right? I know it's in the morning, you guys are at work or you just started the day, but because of scheduling, I have to do it right now. But I'm sure all you guys are going to be replaying the stream in the future. So I have no biggie, no nothing. But can you, Gray, bring up the Aisha Curry Red Table Talk video?
I can, although I just like to address this one comment in the chat real quick, if I could.
Which one?
Tight garbage. Nobody cares. That is the problem with modern society. We are sedated by our collective narcissism in a culture of convenience. I disagree. That is not the cause, that is the effect. The problem with modern society is that men have no authority. They are given the responsibility over society and women and children. They're the ones looked to for the money. They're the ones punished when anything goes wrong. But they have no authority. They have no control over it. What do men have control over then? Themselves. That will look like narcissism, and it may even manifest as narcissism. But it is primarily men focusing on the only thing that they have authority over and responsibility for. Why should a man care about something that he is forced to take responsibility for, but he is given no control over whatsoever?
He's not wrong. He's not wrong, garbage. You know, if you have a reply, I'll definitely be on the lookout, but Gray definitely put it on point. Um, okay.
So yeah,
Uh,
got it pulled up. So
okay.
let's turn on
Uh,
virtual cam.
these nuts. Thank you for the $5 donation. Definitely appreciate it. I'm off today. Just going to hit the iron in a little while. Stay lifting, brothers. Yes. Yes. At least 5 times a week or hell, every day. Put an hour and a half aside to go into the glorious house of gains. I forgot what his name was. Damn. But definitely go into the gym and get those gains in, gentlemen. Okay. Because once you're persistent, once you are hitting them big old weights and eating right, you're going to see a huge change within a month or two. You'll see a change. Let me bring your stuff up. Okay. And gentlemen, this is another professional athlete. This is the wife of Steph Curry. Her name is Aisha Curry. I'm going to be calling out her BS right quick as well. Let me show you right quick.
Yeah, well, to avoid feedback, just wait till the clip's over. Okay.
Yep.
Here we go.
To have more compassion and more understanding.
Something that really bothers me and like honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that yeah, like there are all these women like throwing themselves, but me, like the past 10 years, like I don't have any of that. Like I have zero, this sounds weird, but like male attention. And so then
You
like I
don't
begin
even
to
realize
internalize it, and I'm like, is something wrong with
You're
me?
not,
Like,
you're not looking.
what,
You're not
like-
looking.
You're
not even.
But I'm gonna tell you something else too. When your radar's turned off, because I dealt with that for years too. Like, and I was young, like you.
Yeah, I'm
like,
like,
oh my
that's
god.
not fair.
I
because I don't want it, but it'd
Yeah.
be nice to know that like someone's looking.
But
That
when
can
your
get
radar's
dangerous.
turned
That-
off,
yeah.
right?
That
You're
can get
beautiful.
real
Don't ever
dangerous.
think for 1 minute that it ain't some men out there looking at you like I wish. Honestly. And I'm gonna tell you who knows that more than anybody.
Your
Your
husband.
husband.
And on, I want to ask a question now. All of you made the decision.
Us.
I don't want it, but it makes me feel good and I miss not having it.
Yeah, I had to step in. That got me so annoyed, bro. Okay. You notice how Jada pretty much mocked the word husband? Did you guys notice that just now?
Yeah.
Notice how two of them, Steph Curry's mom, right? That was right next to Aisha Curry, and Jada Pinkett Smith, both of them cheated on their husbands. Both. And now Aisha Curry, she's about to file suit. I don't get celebrities, man. I don't know why celebrities are doing some stupid shit like this, or athletes are doing stupid shit like this when it comes to getting married. If you're a multimillionaire fucking icon at that point, right? Because everybody knows who Steph Curry is.
Well, part of it is like once you're a big name in the media, you kind of need to maintain the position because once you fall out of favor, it's much harder to get in. And a lot of the times, like how big your name is in the media is directly proportional to your paycheck. It's not about your talent, it's about how many asses are you going to get in seats. And you can get that point by being incredibly skilled. But you can get in there easier by being a household name. That's a huge thing with celebrities because how many movies have sold because Will Smith's name and face is on the movie poster?
I agree, but my thing is, why put a ring on the finger of a woman that you probably barely even met or never even gave you attention until you made it to the big leagues before your career even fucking starts?
Could be
Why?
to do with it could be your agent.
What do you mean by that?
Like celebrities don't have as much autonomy as we'd like to think they do. Many of them, like their name is more akin to a corporation. Like, they might not
So
even
pretty much
own
a
their own
trademark.
name. Yeah, like Will Smith. I'm willing to bet that Will Smith isn't just the name of the actor, but is also a trademarked brand.
I agree.
And it's got managers, it's got agents, it has people curating it and like selling his name and image on his behalf. Like celebrities are not a single person going around and running their life up and down. That's just the stage play. Really, they are carefully maintained and operated on behind the scenes. And if your agent says you're going to have a relationship with this woman, you're going to marry her, and you're going to have a couple kids with her, most celebrities are going to have to dance along with that, or they're going to have to find a new agent.
But the big thing when it comes to this current situation, chat, I'm sure you heard from the video, she is jealous of her own husband. She is jealous that her own husband is getting all this attention, right? Even though she never spent a minute in the gym with him, even though she never played all 82 regular season NBA games with him, even though she never played any playoff games or in the NBA finals, and actually winning the NBA finals. She is jealous of that man, right? Even though she does less than a fraction of the like I say even less, literally 1% of what Steph Curry is doing. She is wholeheartedly jealous of her own husband.
And here would be the counter to Jada's little husband speech there. It's like, bitch, the only reason your husband gives a shit who you look at and fuck is because you have legal power over him. If you were just another whore in his rotation, he would not give a fuck and he'd dump you as soon as you were inconvenient.
Oh man, immediately. And the fact that Ayesha Curry, right? Remember, gentlemen, I'm gonna have to repeat it one more time. Ayesha Curry, the wife of Steph Curry, said that she wasn't happy that she wasn't getting other male attention anymore. She wasn't getting male attention anymore. And I will bring up this tweet, but I'll definitely post in the comments if need be. She was ragging on girls that were wearing skimpy clothing, like some skimpy shit, and twerking and all that stuff. She made a post years ago talking shit about those type of women. Talk mad shit on Twitter. I don't know if you guys are NBA fans or not, but if you are, you probably know what I'm talking about. She was trying to act holier than thou, right? Similar to Jada Pinkett Smith. But Greg, can you pull up the Instagram photo?
Let's see. Which one did you send it? Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, that one. Yeah, 1 second.
Yes, that one. What a whole fucking hypocrite. Once again, gentlemen, it's only a matter of time. Let me solo lay out this. Only a matter of time. Is this how a wife is supposed to act? Not only how a wife is supposed to act, but sending that type of photo for strangers to see on the internet. Eventually, gentlemen, they're going to resort back into their thottery. Because once again, once they feel comfortable enough to not face the consequences, this is what happens.
And that's exactly the problem. Comfort. Men create a comfortable environment.
I agree. She has 3 kids, 2 or 3 kids. I have to look it up again. But she has kids. She has kids. Imagine the kids growing up and get bullied off of this fellow. Just imagine, gentlemen.
That's the problem. Like, it's not her problem. Like she doesn't. She probably has not spent any significant amount of time with the kids. Like, the most time she probably spent with her children is when they were sucking on her tits.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah,
that's probably the maximum interaction those kids will ever get with her.
But it's just crazy how self-absorbed, the narcissism, the can't get out their bubble. They want to just do anything that they feel like to make themselves feel good, and throw everybody else under the bus in the process, even their own kids. I'm talking about women in 2022.
Well, that's the thing. Like, your children, how much can they compare? I think, like, you could have like 6 children, but when you have literally tens of thousands of people worshiping you day after day, how can children compare?
I agree. There is a story about a son going home and trying to talk to his mom and say, hey, like, stop doing OnlyFans. I have people in school looking at your OnlyFans and they're picking on me. And then she tried to play it off like it was no big deal. I'm like, why are you making it a big deal? I'm just doing this for some income, doing this for this, doing this for that. That's sickening, in my opinion. That you're willing to tear off your clothes and disregard your own child's feelings and in the future potentially yeet himself or others because of this trauma that you're putting onto that kid. Because what normal kid is gonna be dealing with? What normal kid is going to be dealing with being bullied because, yeah, I saw your mom's puniti. It's pretty fat.
Here's what I do though. Like if a kid's like, my mom won't get off OnlyFans and I'm being bullied, I'd say, everyone who mentions it to you, give them her cell phone number.
Why?
Because then it's her problem.
I see what you're saying, but that I don't see that working because they're kids.
No, call my mom up, ask for a private session.
I doubt a kid will set up their own parents like that.
If your mom's openly a whore, what else are you going to do? You've told her to stop being a whore. She continues to be a whore. Treat her like a whore. Oh, yeah, you can. But why should you be sheltering her? Because a lot of time they're like the kids are the middleman.
She's a lost cause and just leave.
Well, the thing, like, you going to tell a 12-year-old to run away from home?
No, but if she blatantly tells you, it's not a big deal, you just over exaggerating, or hey, just say these type of phrases to make these bullies back off, knowing that the kid's like, all right, okay, you clearly don't give a fuck. I'm pretty sure the first thing the kid will do is just leave. Or the first chance he gets, he'll leave.
Yeah, but that might be years.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But that's just the thing is, she makes it not a big deal because it's not, because it doesn't affect her life. She has the protection of OnlyFans. You give everyone asking about her, everyone interested in her OnlyFans, her private cell phone number. She will get messages from creepers. She'll get creepers and stalkers. She'll actually get the fucking consequences. So long as you're fucking protecting her, she's immune to the consequences. Why, if she's a lost cause, why should you care enough to protect her?
Because at the end of the day, it's still her mother or his mother. So it's a different type of situation.
If your mother gives that little of a shit about you, is that really your mother, or is that just a whore who shat you out one day?
Well, it's different if you were 16 or 17 compared to like a 12-year-old. The mindset is completely different.
At that point, I really don't know what you're trying to preserve by saying like that's your mother.
Well, I'm saying is as a 12-year-old, you're not just gonna be out just literally trying to destroy, or not trying to, but exposing your mother's livelihood.
She exposed herself.
But what I'm saying is, you being that young, that's not your top priority whatsoever. Not as a 12-year-old.
But you can't run away either.
You're older.
You can't. My best thing. But here's the thing, you hand out the number, she starts getting creepy text messages, phone calls from heavily breathing, furiously masturbating neckbeards. She might actually reconsider OnlyFans. She might actually stop.
We'll see. Because once again, I never had to deal with this as a 12-year-old. And at the same time, as a 12-year-old, my mindset would not be, all right, hey, let me just give out my number to a bunch of random people and have her deal with some creepy motherfuckers that I potentially had to deal with myself if I was living in the same roof. But
you're probably dealing with them anyway.
If that kid was older, 16 or 17, then that I can agree with, but not as a 12-year-old. The mindset is completely different compared to the rest.
Like, all I'm saying is like exposure and shame. Like, you fucking hiding it away and covering for her is not going to stop her. Clearly, she's not going to appeal to the emotions of her child. The only thing you can do is make her suffer until it's not worth it anymore.
But how would you? What 12-year-old you know that's willing to even go that far? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's 12. You know what I'm saying? I not once heard of a 12-year-old willing to go that far when it comes to.
I've never
ruining
personally
someone's life.
I've never known a 12-year-old whose mother sold nudes on the internet.
I'm sure it happened in the past, but it's more discreet and stuff, right? But now it's more, they're empowered by it. So
Like, I've met some kids that will do some pretty fucked up shit at that age and younger.
well, we can
Like,
both
here's like let me give you an example. A girl about that age.
Hold up.
Hmm?
We can both agree that this is definitely something new that we never had to deal with before, per se, right? Because this OnlyFans and this empowering fucking crazy bullshit has only been around for around 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So we can both agree to that at least, right?
Yes.
Because I don't want to go into details when it comes to minors.
No. Okay. So, but just to like, I don't know a kid that would do that. I knew it's like secondhand of a girl about that age who falsely accused her father of being homophobic and beating her so that she'd get attention and be excused for her poor behavior at school.
That is one thing, but I was talking about the son mainly.
Yeah. So it's not what lengths would a 12-year-old child go to, it's what lengths would a 12-year-old son of a single mother go to.
I see what you're saying, man. But let's text this off right now. Exit soul out. Okay. So based on what we talked about just now, what is the overall summary of It's Only a Matter of Time?
Women don't want to be happy. Women crave chaos. A man will create an environment that a woman will hate in the modern era, no matter how good a man you try to be, or no matter how bad a man you try to be in order to please her internal desires. Eventually, you're going to slow down. She's going to get bored, and she is going to seek chaos and destruction of your life in order to satisfy her emotional desires. It is inevitable.
I definitely agree that when it comes to me, gentlemen, I told you guys 200, 300 times. It's not the fact that she has, no, it's not the fact that if she'll divorce you or not. It's the fact that she has the capability of doing that anytime. Think on that, gentlemen. Think on that before you decide to sign that contract. She has the ability to take everything or at least half of what you have just because she woke up one morning and she wasn't happy. But I think this was a very good, very interesting stream today. We got a little sidetracked, but I think we got our overall message across. Don't you agree, Gray?
Oh, yeah.
But I am definitely going to be heading out right now because it's going to be a busy day today. Once again, thank you everybody that decided to donate or who plans on donating in the future, because I tend to miss you guys that donates to my like overall videos or clicks on the external links on my main page. when I open it up, I see like, oh, there's a couple of not Snapchats, couple of PayPals that I missed, the PayPal donations. So I'll try to be more frequent when it comes to checking those donations. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of topics that me and Gray talk about that majority of the manosphere they don't think about or they just refuse to talk about, right? Because it's too deep, it's too red pilled, right? It's not that, oh yeah, just get bitches to get money, man. Yeah, just be confident. No, we talk about some real male and societal issues. Right, Gray?
Yeah. Like it's not something that can be explained away with, oh, just do this and the problem will be solved and you'll be the exception. No. There's some very detailed and specific things that need to be addressed. And it takes more than just a single sentence or two to dig them all up.
I definitely agree. And here, I gotta check something right quick. Oh, Mr. Pliskin, once again, thank you for your generous donation. I don't know if you sent a message or not. No, you didn't, but still, thank you once again. See, you and a couple other people are definitely way too generous when it comes to donations. Like it's pretty ridiculous how you guys believe in the Warband, believe in Sir Yeetus's channel. Like it's definitely humbling. It definitely is. But before I head out, Manic, the Manic Mechanic, he is going to be live streaming in an hour or two, or hell, maybe even earlier. Who knows? But definitely check out his live stream that's gonna be coming out this morning. It's gonna be about Five Nights at Freddy's. They're coming back with new content. And you already know Manic is a huge fan of Five Nights. All right. Support your fellow official Warband member, Manic. I will be there too. Don't get me wrong. I'll be in the chat. So definitely enjoy your morning. Morning streams are pretty good, honestly, especially when Gray's here, right? I don't have to sound all boring and sluggish, especially if I don't have my coffee. He's able to actually engage and have you guys interested or occupied with our crazy conversations. Ain't that right, Gray?
Yeah, yeah. I can drag some pretty heated stuff out, apparently.
Yeah, it's I thought I wouldn't be doing too great because I'm not as funny as Chronic, or I can't roast like Chronic or Ribby. But it seems like at least with our platform, there's a good amount of people that enjoys the straightforward, to the point. Let's talk about some issues, right? And it's not just segments. It's just from beginning to end, getting our point across. I like that people stick around and put their 2 cents in. That's how we able to move the information around in the quote unquote manosphere, or at least between men.
And even able to create like something for other guys to discuss, because like just because we've made our case one way or the other here, we're not going to have a straight up universal agreement. And disagreement and discourse are the only way we're going to get to the truth, and that's going to require other perspectives and additional information.
I agree. At least you're not like reading, like going all crazy, like wait till I tell Twitter about this and trying to dox me and shit. Like what the fuck?
No, quite honestly, like if I can't make a convincing case or can be convinced otherwise, I'll take the L there. Honestly, that's a good way for me to learn something, is someone else to introduce a concept or information that I wasn't aware of prior.
And gentlemen, don't get me wrong, Rishi would definitely be here if he could, but he's definitely busy. He's out there touching grass, getting shit done in his real life. So once he has time, I know that he'll be able to come back. But currently, Rishi is a busy dude. Okay, so like it's not like, oh, I hate mushrooms, so you're banished from my channel. No. Or I'm still mad about the wrench that he took away from me. I forgot about that actually till now. But in the end, gentlemen, I'm definitely glad that all you guys are here to actually have a good conversation, a good discourse. And anybody that wants to debate me, anybody that wants to have a certain topic with me, just let me know. Just let me know. Okay? But not on some fucking sci-fi weird shit like, oh, is there one-legged dinosaurs on Mars? Like, wait, what? we gotta keep it within the realm of male issues and relationships. Okay, if you want to hop on tomorrow, because I will be having a live stream tomorrow, definitely tell me if you disagree with me or agree with me, or if you disagree, agree, or you agree with them. Regardless, we all here. We just taking a little sip, a little drink. You know, if you guys, smoke some cigars or whatever, you chilling in your house, you just vibing, having a good time. Because unfortunately, in society today, there's not many places left where men can actually talk about male issues. This is why I believe working on this channel is beyond important. What do you say about that, Gray?
That's definitely like the biggest thing. This really is content that honestly, these kinds of discussions, I couldn't have them anywhere else. And that's why I do appreciate this channel a lot. Because I can come here, can actually learn stuff, have a discussion about things that no one, like especially not in the real world, but even online, there's nowhere else I could think of that I could have these kinds of discussions to begin with. So I'm always very appreciative that you keep bringing me back, and I get to really speak openly here.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, right? I do get a little bit crazy once I have that alcohol in the system, right? Similar to Rakeda Law, right? Like I am on my politics shit so much when I'm under the influence, man. It's pretty intense. So Gray already
I
knows.
am the Senate.
Yeah, like like wearing the American flag as a cape and shit. It gets pretty bad, but Gray is definitely understandable when it comes to the situation. Because believe it or not, if you look at the previous live streams, we did bump heads twice.
Yeah, I think we've done it like twice significantly.
Right, but it was because I was too busy yelling, "I am the Senate." You had to get my attention, right? I wasn't paying attention to what you had to say, so that was definitely my fault. But in the end, gentlemen, I'm telling you, this community is very important. This community is crucial. It's crazy how in 2022, society does not want men to come together and actually speak on our behalf, on our grievances, on what we should do. Oh, I know why they don't want us to do that. It's because it usually causes a revolution. Just put it out there. But this is Sir Yeetus. Hope you guys had your daily dose of an amount of gems dropped on you today. And best believe there will be a live stream tomorrow. Thank you, everybody that donated. Okay. Because even in the morning, you guys don't fail to support the Warband. We are out. Peace.
Peace out, Warband.